Hi, Ben here of S42. Today I brought you a little update. I worked on the live synchronization of items between Blender and my engine. Plus I added a little more realistic preview situation for items that I prepare. So I'm currently at setting up a system where you can preview items in my engine. So you can now flick through the system and it automatically sort of scans for the items that are in the according data folder and displays them properly. What else I added is one new nice feature there is that although you can now flick through the objects, you can still whenever you display one element, you can see that it is live connected. So whenever you are in Blender and you are working on an element that you want to see in the viewer, then you can now also always have it, although you can switch through the elements. So whichever part you're working on will stay sort of hot reloaded. I had to sort of unregister from watching the directory. I had to fix some little details on the AI async integration so that the files were really close properly. And by now I can really like flick through here. There's no more mem leaks or whatever. Plus, you can keep the system in synchronization. So if I now add that element, you can see I immediately have that. So I also simplified some stuff. I can now select, for example, a material. Let's say steel. I save it. It immediately takes the material. I can then, for example, go here. Shade it smooth, makes it look a little nicer. I can even then give it some modifier, let's say subdivision surface, and save that one. And you see immediately I have this beautiful, nice little object loaded in there. I can again play with it, change its position, and as soon as I save, you see it's immediately updated in my engine. What you can also see is the engine is now much closer to the rendering of Blender. I improved some of the shader settings. Actually, I can show you that one because I did a little mistake there. What I did is last time when I had these shaders, I had forgotten about the normal map node in between. So I took the color immediately to the normal, and Blender does not interpret it like that. But what you have to do is you have to sort of calculate the normal map from it with this node. So I put in the color, say it's a non-color also for the sort of height and roughness and metallic and AO, ambient occlusion. I also set it to non-color now. And so now this is working with the normal map, because as I said before, I didn't do that, and so I had this like strange look. Like you can see that it has this sort of crazy look, and now I have the proper look where everything looks nice and smooth. And if you look at the rendering results next to each other, I have to say it's actually pretty cool. Like you get quite some proper render results here. And sure, the lighting is a bit different. It's a bit darker on some spots, and sure, like you have little differences anyways. What I also will have to fix one day is my FXAA implementation, and really getting sick of this jagged edges. So I want to sort of go to a TAA implementation, which might make the image look much more smoothed out. But besides that, I can now live update the models. I can change the preview of the models, and whenever I'm still working on Blender with the models, they will just reload in real time, allowing me to really iterate quickly over the parts. Because the idea is that this item viewer here is sort of my little preview hub where I can immediately see the mount points that I prepared, and where I can sort of iterate quickly over the items or the parts. So yeah, this is the way how I want to continue integrating it. So my goal is to actually really use Blender quite intense for all the modeling and the meta information, and then have my engine just render this nicely. So yeah, that was the little update. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day. See you then.